My workflow begins with Digital Photo Professional. As you can see, I have some raw images here. I'm going to select one for processing. We'll take this image of a black-throated sparrow. Let me enlarge this here for you. I click on my Edit Image window and we'll take this guy up to 50%. As you can see, he looks a little dark, so I'm going to adjust the brightness with the brightness slider bar here. We'll adjust this up to 50, and that looks pretty good there. I'll also adjust the sharpness. I keep 7 in the camera, and we'll take this up to 10. And from here I'm going to save this file as a TIFF. Actually, I'm going to convert it into a TIFF at 300 dpi. So we come up to File, we click on to Convert and Save. I'm going to rename it so I know exactly what it is. It's a black-throated sparrow 9720. I'm going to click on Save. I'm going to overwrite that because this is the second time I've done it for video purposes. And after I've saved this as a TIFF, one important thing here, when we convert these files, let me run over back here and drop this menu down for you. I have my conversion output setting at 300 dpi, and this is a nice round number. And it's a lot easier when you're when you're converting to the size to have a 300 instead of 350. 350 I think is a default setting for Digital Photo Professional. So I've cut this down to 300 because it's a nice round number and it's easier for me to work with that number. Alright, so I'm going to close this out and go to the next part of the process, which is, let's save this here, yes to all, which is our Zoom Browser Exec. From here I'm going to resize my TIFF image. And it's right down here on the thumbnail bar. I'll scroll over here and look for our black-throated sparrow 9702 TIFF. We double click on this. And then we click Edit and Trim. Our default trim size pops up, and we're going to change that because the sparrow looks lost in all that area, and we want to make a little tighter crop here. So I'm going to come over and click on Advanced Options. I'm going to change the width from 4148 to 2100, and then I'm going to change the height to 1400. I'm using my cropping guide here to keep the sizes in perspective. Now I'm going to move this window down, get my bird over here looking over to the right a little bit, and we'll put him about a third of the way, just a little bit more than a third of the way into the image. And we're going to click on Trim Image to select this crop, and we're going to click on OK. And then we're going to click on File, Save As. Now I'm going to keep the file name the same. The only thing I'm going to do different here is add a letter A, so I know this image has been adjusted one time. If I were to make additional adjustments on this image, I would go, I would save them as B, C, or D, so I knew exactly where I was in the workflow on this. I'll click on Save. And I already had an image of that up there, so I'm just going to go ahead and save this newer one. Alright, now for the third and final step of the workflow, we open up our Photoshop, and this is where I'm going to resize the image and convert it to a JPEG. I'm going to go File, Open. I guess I can go File, Open Recent, since I already had this open. Whoops. Let's see here. And this was done on the 14th, and we're looking for 9702. 9702A, there's our TIFF. Alright, from here we're going to make the change. Well, we can do one other thing here actually. We can lighten this photo up just a little bit more. I'm going to come up here to go to Image, Adjustments, Shadows and Highlights. We're going to take the Shadows and Highlights slider bar and pop this over to about 10. I'll just lighten that little bird up a little bit, and we'll click on OK. And now to size it, we go back up to Image, we go to Image Size, and as you can see here, the 21 by 1400 image at 300 dpi translated to a 7-inch by 4-inch photo. Now when I upload my photos on a JPEG, I like to run with 15 inches by 10 inches. That makes a nice picture, nice size picture. The only thing I want to do here is I want to cut the DPI down to 100. And we'll click on OK. And then if I go Control plus, there's our 15 by 100, 15 by 10, excuse me, at 100 DPI image. And I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm just going to change the format to a JPEG. Click on Save, click on OK. And that's that. We've converted our TIFF, our very large RAW file, to a TIFF to preserve the image quality. And then from a TIFF, we made what adjustments we needed to make, and then resized it and converted it into a 15 by 10 JPEG. And that's something suitable to put on Flickr. So I hope that was helpful. Until the next time, bye.